Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you didn't know, now you know. As you can tell, the lips are not matching up because, pardon me, the sound for this part of the video clip was lost. I think switching between scenes, there was some issue with the sound switching over. So now it's just a silent intro. Anyway, in this video, we are doing some dip nails with Azure Beauty. We have their Cosmic Dip Kit. It's spacey, so we're gonna do a spacey looking set of nails. But the point of this video is to encapsulate with dip powder. We're using clear dip powder to encapsulate some little nail decorations like you would with acrylic. And we're gonna see how that works and how it goes. So let's get started. Azure Beauty Dip Powder Kit. We've got 20 pieces and 4 additional pieces, which are the liquids. And that's what I want to talk about first, actually. Ethyl acetate and dihydroxyethyltoluidine are the activators. Ethyl cyanoacrylate, polymethyl methacrylate are base and top coats for traditional dip liquids. Apparently we've lost another bit of sound. I think it's whenever I switch to this view. I'm definitely have to pay more attention next time. It was not the one I meant. So if the video is kind of all over the place, pardon me. So anyway, we got a separate set of dip liquids from Azure Beauty. Their bottles look different, and so I wanted to see if there was a reason for that. See, this doesn't look like the normal bottles, and so they did send them on over to me to check them out. I did reach out to Azure and ask them why it was different, if there was a difference in the liquids, and they said, I don't know, try it out and see. So that's what we're doing today. But it turns out they're not different. It's actually exactly the same ingredients. I don't know why the bottles are different. Apparently there's a few different bottle styles that it can come in, and it's still just the same formula. So, I mean, okay. I do hope they come out with a sensitive formula sooner rather than later, though, as an alternative for people like me who get dip flu. The sensitive formula does make a massive difference. You can see right here, everything is exactly the same. So here's what all it comes with. It's got some extra brushes, the little file. These are the same things that come in all the Azure dip kits. It's got some instructions saying, you know, the more layers you put, the more opaque it becomes. And then we've got our 4 liquids. We've got our dust brush, we have our cuticle pusher, we have a dip tray, we have a buffing block, and then we have our 20 colors. Aren't they beautiful? Again, I'm gonna go through all the swatches at the end, so stay tuned for that. But let me get my colors picked out so that we can do some cosmic nails. And I have this. This is a transparent Azure Beauty builder powder. It's clear, so we can encapsulate. Hypothetically, we're gonna find out though. Okay, so these are the colors I've picked out, 528, 526. They both appear to be purples, but they are both thermals. So that's gonna be an exciting little surprise. Let's get these opened up. Okay, so now that they're open, you can kind of see the difference. This one is much lighter than this one, and this one's got sparkly bits. This is the one I'm going to use for my main 3, and this is the one I'm going to use for my accent nail. So I'm going to close this and set it to the side because I don't want to get these lids mixed up. These things are labeled by number, and so if you get off track with the numbers, you'll never know what you've got. But we're going to start with this guy, and we're going to use the tray. We're going to do the pour method. Y'all know I love to make a mess, so let me get a paper towel out and put under this. And I am going to use my sensitive dip liquids from Revel today, so I don't have to put a respirator on. So the way this is going to work, I'm going to paint the nail, put it here, pour it over. And that's what we'll do. 2 or 3 coats, not sure, we'll decide as we go, depending on how it looks. Now with your dip liquids, try to be careful. They're sticky. You don't want it all over you. I shake, especially when using this hand. But I am going to try to keep it at a minimum. Pardon me, I really don't know what causes this other than my hands being in a weird way because I don't have a condition that makes me shake. It only happens when I'm trying to left hand some tiny art. Oh yes, look how beautiful that is pouring on. Don't dump too quickly because you'll dump the whole container out and that's not really necessary. Yeah, so you get some on there. I would recommend letting it sit for a minute because these liquids sometimes soak up the powder and then it needs more powder. So just let it sit on there. If you need to, add a little bit more down them sides. You can see it's already trying to change colors on me though. Oh, looks like I've missed a spot on this edge, but it may not even have any liquid. So we'll tap that off. Ooh, looking pretty. And then you just dump this back in here carefully, of course. They always fill your containers up real nice. You got plenty of product. And then we will go and do our other two, and then we'll circle back. I'm gonna turn my finger, make sure I get it on the sides this time. See how it's getting liquidy over here? It needs more powder. Let's check the other side. Yep, needs more powder. And you can just keep adding it on there until it is opaque and not turning liquidous anymore. You can tap and it'll fall down the sides. That can help as well. Looking good. My cuticle is looking a little questionable here. So I am going to take this cuticle pusher and just go around that. Make sure I get it cleaned up. We don't want it caking up in there. Push that forward a little bit. You get where you belong there, Dippy. And then we'll give those a moment to dry and do a second layer. All right, so that's had a few minutes to dry. I'm gonna give it a gentle dusting. You don't wanna go too hard because you don't wanna scrape up your powder, but you also don't want any excess powder in here when you go in with your second layer because it'll just cake up in your brush and make it hard. And we don't want that. Wow. I'm gonna have to show y'all what I've just done. I am very displeased. This is one of the issues with these containers though. They're small and they're smooth. I wish they were a little bit more textured because this thing just fell on its side and rolled completely across my table. So now there's a dip line the whole way, and see how much is left in here. I'm gonna have to clean that up somehow. I hate spilling my dip powders. It is so wasteful. That's looking beautiful though. Let me go and clean this up. All right, I got all that cleaned up and most of it returned to this. I'm gonna try not to do that again. So what do we think? Do we wanna do a third coat? I think maybe, yeah. We gotta let this dry a second though. All right, I just went ahead and threw on the third coat off camera so we can get to this other color. That's this one. You know the drill. I'm gonna paint it on and then pour it on. Pardon me if you're like all up in the top of my head. I just have to lean in to be able to see. That purple off. Looking good. And of course, we'll do 3 layers. Look how pretty this is coming along. This one's a pink to purple. Looking cute. Let's do that second layer. And third coat. Okay, so we've got our 3 coats on. We're gonna give that time to dry. And I'm gonna swap this out because of course it's a mess. Okay, so I've got that dusted off. Now we are going to have to activate because I'm gonna have to do some filing before we put the clear on and the encapsulation because the nails are kind of thick and fat around the edges and I don't want that. So we're gonna get these shaped up before we continue. Remember, with the activator, you want to use it generously. You want this to be completely soaked all the way through. All right, we'll come back momentarily when that's had some time to dry. Okay, sounding a bit sturdier. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a hand file, we're gonna go around the edges and crispin them up. You wanna make sure you're getting the sides, get underneath, because we want all of that to be nice and straight. It's oftentimes difficult to get at this one because of the angles you have to work with. But go slow, take your time. Use a hand file so it is straight. Make sure you do your ends. You want those to be straight as well. If you keep everything straight, it's not going to be as much of a task to straighten it up afterwards. Yeah, so that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna do the other edges and then we'll come back for the cuticles. All right, so we've got our E-file. We're going in reverse because we're doing the opposite hand. You'll want to go low and slow. I like to use a safety bit to protect my cuticles because I will just knock them off otherwise. You can always file off more, but you can't put it back, so go easy on it. You want to try and brace yourself as much as possible. And then when you like the shape, you can move on. Alright, so I got the edges cleaned up. I'm going to take this buffer and kind of go across the surface because I really don't want to file it down and take off any of the layers, but I just want to get it smooth. Alright, nice and buffy. Let's get our brush. Get this dust up off of here. Alright, let's give it another layer of activator. Alright, so we're going to let this dry, but while we do, I'm going to tell you what the plan is. So you may have seen, depending on what the thumbnail looks like, but I've got these little gold charm things. And we are going to use the base coat to stick these in. And then we're going to encapsulate them with this transparent powder so that we get a smooth finish, ideally. And hypothetically, you could do this with glitters or with dried flowers or perhaps even like a sticker or something, but I want to try it with these. So I'm going to get a few out. All right, so I got me some charms picked out. These are the ones we're going to use. I'm going to set this to the side. And so we're going to put on a layer of the sticky. I've got this wax pencil for picking those up, and we're going to stick it in. And then we're going to pour some of this over it so that we can start getting those layers built up. Of course, that means we're bringing back this thing. My whole little work area is so full of crap right now. All right, so I'm actually gonna start with these two because this is where the main decorations are gonna be. Let's start here. We got this little moon that I wanna put on here for this guy. It's not exactly flat, but we will do the best we can. And then pour some of this on there too. Wow, that's too much. Maybe we'll do a bit of a dip as well. That came out a lot faster than I had intended it to. I guess we can just dip it in there, really, from that angle anyway. That might be a better option. Let's set this to the side for a moment. Let's get some on this next one. I think maybe I need to try and put it on a little bit thicker, but I'm not trying to have it bulk up too quickly. All right, so I've got that. And then I have this little sun man that I want to put over here. I think his face goes this way. Yeah, so put that right there. And then I have a tiny little moon that I want to put over here with it, like that. So that's cute. Let's see if we can get this off in here. Yes, that has worked. Scoop it in there again. So yeah, we're gonna have to do quite a bit of layering because it's got to cover that, and also it's drying really quickly. And then on these three, I'm just gonna put stars. So for this one, I have 2 stars. I've got this star. Get on there, you thing. That one's gonna be a problem, I can see. I think it's just not flat enough or curvy enough maybe, but I want it to be not leaning, and it's getting stuck down already. I guess it's gonna lean. All right, and then I wanted to put this one on there too. My base coat is drying so quickly. I don't even think I'm gonna get this one into the powder. Well, this one's not coming up, boy. Yeah, you probably couldn't see anything because I had it all turned up. I don't like how this one is leaning and I can't get it to straighten up, and it's like stuck down now, so if I pry it off, it's gonna be really gross. That's fantastic. So happy about that. And I was trying to put this one on with it somewhere. Maybe I should try and put it like down here. I don't really love how this is crooked like this though. Okay, we've peeled it up. I'm gonna try and make it rounder so when I put it back on, it's better. All right, let's put some more of this mess. It's gonna be so thick of top coat before I actually get anything stuck in it. Doing this stuff. It dries so quickly. Get in place the way that we want you. And get your little buddy over here. I want that on there too. And matter of fact, let me grab one more for up here. We'll get us a little diagonal star bit going. There, that's not awful. Let's see if we can dip this in here. I don't know how well this is gonna work. It's in. Whether anything stuck to it or not, I have no idea. Looks like some. Okay. We'll circle back to these guys because I want to work on these since we have to build them up the most. I forgot to dust this one off. My brush is going to be full of powder. Hopefully it doesn't get hard. All right, I'll come back when we've got some layers. All right, they're all looking nice and fat. I decided not to put anything on these, but we need to activate so we can file them again. And now the fun part. You guys know how cool this part is. It's harder to see it on the clear, but you can tell it's happening. I'm gonna do 2 passes just because I want a whole lot of activator on this round. We want these to be nice and sturdy for when we go in with our crispening. All right, so we got that on. Now I'll come back in about 10 minutes and we will do some filing. Okay, so we are back. Let me back this up a little bit. And so the same as before, I'm gonna go in and crispen the sides, and then we'll go around the cuticle with the e-file after. And of course I will do this to smooth off the tops. And definitely, again, just make sure your undersides are still good, still nice and crispy. Sometimes you gotta hold your hand in a weird way to be able to see what you're doing under there, but that's okay. Coming along. All right, I'll be right back. All right, well, we've got them filed and my e-file ended up dying, so I need to charge it, but it is time to put some more activator on this and then top coat. So let's do this part real quick. Get these nice and smooth and hard. Yeah, you can see that those charms are encapsulated. They are in there. It's mostly smooth, a little bit thick, just because that's what you gotta do to cover things this chunky. Yeah, let's give this a moment and then we'll top coat and then we'll take a look. All right, time for the top coat. It is gel. Let's try to put this on carefully so I don't get it on my skin. I'll wipe that excess off. We don't want this to be too thick. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna pop that in the lamp for 60 seconds. All right, they're out of the lamp. Let's wipe them off. As you know, if you saw the last video where I reviewed these dip liquids, they are not no wipe. So you will want to get that sticky bit off. There we go. What do you think? I think it's looking pretty good. Very cute. I'm gonna try and get you some photos at the different stages of temperature. You should be seeing what I was able to come up with now. Definitely let me know what you think of these nails. Are they cute? I like them. Have you used thermals before, be it dip powders or gels or nail polish, whatever? What do you think of thermals? And what do you think about the fact that the tips that are hanging off are usually a different temperature than the part that's touching the nail bed? And so it's very rarely just one color. It's almost an ombre. Let me know if you have this dip kit or if you have any Azure Beauty dip products at all. Remember to stay tuned. You will be seeing the swatches of everything that comes in this kit here immediately. But let me go ahead and do my little outro. So thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your interaction. I do appreciate all of it. It helps the algorithm, it helps me, it helps my channel grow, and that gives me joy and happiness and the ability to make these videos for you. So thank you. Again, let's get into that swatching. 15, a beautiful dark navy-ish type blue. 18, a glittery silver. What a sparkly purple. 203, a nice matte gray. 307, a dark and inky black. 351, a plummy purple. 503, it's a metallic, like a bluey green. This is actually stunning. It almost looks like that reflective pigment powder stuff. That's really nice. 511, a nice mauve-y type purple. 517, another stunning metallic, but this one is red. These are gorgeous. I'm going to have to use them. 518. It's a sparkly purple, but it needs to be stirred. 519. Ooh, it's got hollow glitter in it, and it's a nice galactic gray. I like that. 521. Another one with hollow glitter. How cute, but this one is purpley blue. 524. Ooh, sparkly. This one's like a royal blue. Very pretty. If blue is your favorite color, this is a great one. 526. This is one of the purples we used earlier. It's a thermal. 527. Now that is a stunning glittery green. How beautiful. 528. This is the other purple we used earlier, the one with the glitter. 529. Now this one's a bit of a mauvey purple, but with glitter. 530. A bit of a more blue-toned purple with glitter. 531. It's kind of a brown with reflective glitter in it. This is a really good color to have. You don't get very many of these. Last but not least, 532. Alright, it's a reflective glitter in a purple base. Very beautiful. But that's it. Hope you loved it. Hope you liked the colors. Let me know which one's your favorite, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.